Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master 8 Days Antoine Le-Coultre limited edition of 200 pieces. You can see this 2004 limited edition of 200 pieces in Platinum PT950 and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this timepiece and our entire collection of Jaeger-LeCoultre watches. Watches like this, if I may editorialize, embody everything that we love about Jaeger-LeCoultre. Now, in the last 2 years, it seems like we've seen a lot of retro-inspired tribute-style watches and simple watches, but this watch combines everything from artisanal finishing to high mech, references to the company's own glorious history, and incredible value, quite frankly, for what it is. Now, the timepiece on my wrist is large and in charge. 41.5 millimeters isn't huge, but with full platinum case and clasp, it has an impressive mass on the wrist. 41.5 across the round of the case, not including the crown. The watch is relatively slim considering the complexity, at 11 millimeters thick, and the timepiece across the wrist is approximately 49.5 millimeters, so I believe you could wear this watch despite its mass on a wrist as compact as 14 centimeters in circumference. Now let's talk a little bit about that fit. The watch is slim. It has that going for it, so it rides low and it'll slide underneath any shirt cuff. You can also see that the lugs are rather tucked, cropped, not excessively long. Also note the beautiful image of Antoine Le-Coultre's signature on the flank along with the individual numbering. This is a very unconventional setup for Jaeger-LeCoultre. This is a rare occasion in which individual numbering as well as graphics are both blazoned on the flank of the case. You'll see the same signature of the founder on the case back, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. The watch features a semi-gloss, lightly bolstered and padded rectangular scale black alligator leather strap with a monotone stitch and a folded edge. It's calfskin on the underside, quite supple, and 2005 was officially the last year that JLC was making this single fold clasp style. This is a 2004 edition, of course. The watch right here was also part of the last generation to feature the full platinum clasp on a platinum watch. After 2005, JLC went to a double fold clasp, which was never made in platinum. If you bought a platinum watch on that clasp, the clasp is white gold. Here you get PT950, as it should be, on a full platinum watch. And the clasp helps to add to the impression of a seriously premium purchase on your wrist. It also has the extra mass, such that if you want to wear the watch loose, it has a counterweight on the bottom, like a sports watch on a bracelet. It's not unweighted on the bottom. It won't tend to tip over or porpoise. It'll stay upright even if you don't strap it down tight. Now, the case is all of high polish, but because the case is slim, it doesn't look garish or extroverted. It looks handsome and traditional. The dial is simple and sober, but there's a lot going on, and the detail is superb. All of the dart style indices are faceted down their center. There's a facet on each side as well as a tail facet in triangular form, diamond polished and white gold. They're matched by elegant pinched alpha style hands at center, also in white gold. You'll note alpha's also used for the counterweighted constant seconds with crosshair subdial and the 8-day power reserve scale. Now, all of the individual stations, indices and numerals are loomed with a small luminescent pip outboard of the actual index or numeral, and you can also note a sliver of lume on each of the hour and the minute hands. So this is a watch you can see 24 hours a day. There is a double-digit date, a grand date, at 7 o'clock, and it's actually the second one produced by Jaeger-LeCoultre. The original patent was handed over to Longa, its corporate stablemate, as a gesture of goodwill to help the old company get back on the board in the early 90s. This is the second generation and simplified system, JLC's second patent, without a program wheel for a double-digit date. Now, you'll also note there is a day-night indicator, a romantic and somewhat fatuous but fabulous touch, because it is fatuous. Luxury is about getting more than you need. And you'll note the power reserve scale at 10 o'clock. One of the thoughtful considerations by JLC's watchmakers with this caliber 877 was the ability to wind the watch in 55 turns. There are some extended power reserve watches, for instance, the 5-day power reserve of the Blancpain 50 Fathoms If you were to wind it manually, it requires almost 110 turns to wind 5 days of power reserve. Here, JLC geared the system high, so 55 turns takes you to 192 hours of reserve at full wind. The dial is a handsome silver sunburst that is blue, if not overly insistent. It's a neutral color for a neutral metal, so this is a watch that's an excellent representation of what's sometimes known as stealth wealth. Turn it over, and it's anything but stealthy. This is where the action is. Côte de Soleil, an explosive sunburst pattern that radiates out from the balance across all of the bridges. You'll also note all of the screws are kiln-fired and heat-blued, not dyed. The inked signature of the founder, Antoine Le-Coultre, and the notation that this is a twin mainspring barrel, 8-day power reserve pivoting on 25 joules. There's also a swan's neck fine adjustment mechanism. The entirety of this operation running at 28,800 vibrations per hour. And you'll note that if I pull the crown, I activate hacking seconds, I stop the balance. Though it has an 8-day power reserve, it can be set to time intervals as short as a single second. There is a quick set for the double-digit date, such that if you were to pull the crown to an intermediate position, you can rapidly set the time, as well as there it is. You can set the quick set function for the double-digit date window at 7 o'clock. So this is a full-featured watch with every refinement and several you would not expect. A timepiece beautifully executed on both sides and with 200 made quite rare. A watch that has the low profile of steel but the enormous heft and psychic satisfaction of platinum. A timepiece that in this era of ultra-conservative watches from La Grande Maison of the Vallée de Joux, this is a watch that flies the flag for the days when the company let rip with the best from its high-mech divisions in watches that were beautifully subtle. And this watch available in both steel and platinum. Its composition will remain a secret between you and your wrist. See it and own it on our website.